Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Today we got some surprising Pokemon Sword and Shield news that I'm basically like an hour late to because I was walking the dogs, just chilling, thinking, you know, why would Pokemon news randomly drop on a Monday? Turned on Wi-Fi. For some reason, I was getting no Twitter notifications to my phone, which normally I get through Cerebi, and yeah, it turns out I missed quite a bit, unfortunately, so apologies, this video is probably out like an hour later than usual. I normally try and get these videos out as soon as the news drops, but we have 3 new Pokemon to talk about, some very interesting designs, some I really like, and ones that's very weird that might have to take a while to grow on me. Then we got basically the Mega Evolutions of the Galar region. This is called Gigamaxing, and this changes the form of the Pokemon. We saw 3 different Gigamaxing variants, I'll say, forms, whatever. And that basically occurs when you Dynamax your Pokemon, you can go on to basically another form. So for example, I think what I would say, and this is only prediction for now, but like if you Dynamax Charizard, it would just be a big Charizard, but if you Gigamax Charizard, it will turn into one of its Mega forms. That's what I'm assuming, something like that, like its Mega Evolution will appear on the Gigamax form. But yeah, we're going to talk about that in more detail, and there's also a few other little bits, like there's gym leaders that are exclusive to each version and the Pokemon that are exclusive to each version, you know, just a typical kind of stuff. Well, they're not the gym leaders, but yeah, the Pokemon bit at least. So guys, if you do enjoy today's video, make sure to hit the like button down below, and if you want to stay up to date with everything Pokemon Sword and Shield, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below to become a part of the Twintendo Nation. Right, we've all that out of the way. I know, long intro, apologies. Let's talk about these new Pokemon. So first of all, we have probably my favorite. It's Alcremie. It's a fairy Pokemon, and this is one of the Pokemon that can Gigamax. We're going to get onto that later. So the description for Alcremie basically says, Alcremie can produce whipped cream, which becomes richer the happier Alcremie is feeling. Desserts made using this cream are invariably delicious. So many pastry chefs strive to have an Alcremie as their partner. When attacked by an opponent, Alcremie will throw sweet scented cream to distract him or temporarily blind him, giving itself time to escape. The cream it uses for this purpose has an incredibly powerful soothing effect, and any opponent that tries to eat this cream will rapidly lose the will to battle. It's very cute. I really like its design. Definitely, probably a Pokemon I'm going to have on my team. I'm expecting, well, I was going to say I'm expecting it to have an evolution, but it does Gigamax, so maybe it'll have a pre-evolution. I really like it though. And let's move on to something that kind of reminds me of Roggenrola from Generation 5. This is called Rolycoly. It's a rock-type Pokemon, and it has a new ability called Steam Engine, which we'll get onto in a second. But Rolycoly, basically, it says it has a red eye, can illuminate dark areas, which it uses the lump of coal attached to its body like a wheel to move through coal mines and caves. It seems to be able to travel smoothly even over rough terrain. And by the way, I'm expecting this Pokemon to have an evolution. Just looking at the size of it, I'll be very surprised if this doesn't evolve. And it says, until about 100 years ago, every household in the Galar region had a Rolycoly. The families would use the coal that dropped off its body for cooking and heating their homes. Even in the modern day, Rolycoly is a very popular Pokemon to take for outdoor activities. So it's a well-loved Pokemon in the Galar region. It's kind of nice to see. And the last Pokemon, oh, by the way, actually, the ability for Rolycoly, sorry, is Steam Engine, and basically if this Pokemon is hit with a fire or a water move, its speed will rise, which I think is really interesting. Water, you know, obviously is going to be super effective against it, so that kind of makes sense. Fire is interesting. Definitely going to be interesting to see how that ability is going to work in, you know, online battles and stuff. But anyway, the last one, I'm not even sure what this is. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Duraludon. I don't know, it's going to take me a few attempts to get this name right, but this is a Steel Dragon type, which is very interesting. It kind of reminds me of like a mecha. Just, I don't know, it looks like it's going to transform into something. I'm expecting this will have an evolution. It could just be a standalone thing, it's just looking very, very weird. So it says the metal composing its body is incredibly durable, but also surprisingly light, which is actually quite funny because its abilities are light metal and heavy metal. So it's kind of a mix of both, really. It only weighs about 88 pounds in total. Thanks to this, Duraludon can move quite quickly in spite of its appearance. Its body is weak to corrosion, however, and is known to rust easily. Duraludon live in caves and mountainous areas. Their 2 arms have slightly different shapes from each other, and they use these to grind down rock surfaces for food. They share their habitat with Tyranitar, and these 2 Pokemon are often seen battling each other in the mountains of the Galar region. Now that I hear that, actually, I'm going to say this Pokemon does not have an evolution, and they actually do show it battling a Tyranitar in the footage. But the fact that if this thing can hold its own against a Tyranitar, yeah, it's probably its own thing. I don't know, it looks weird. This is the one I'm not too sure on, but give it time. I don't know, I don't know much about it. So those are the 3 new Pokemon. Let's go on to the brand new form thing, Gigantamaxing. And this is Gigantamax forms. We're going to start off with Alcremie. It turns into a big layer cake. I absolutely love this thing. So it says, this cream pouring out of its body hardens when subjected to impact. The stronger the impact, the harder it becomes. This gives Alcremie a truly impressive resistance to physical attacks. Additionally, the giant berry decorations on Alcremie's body are as hard as diamonds, and it's said that most attacks won't even be able to leave a scratch. Alcremie will launch high-calorie cream missiles, oh my god, that is a pretty weird sentence, around itself to attack its opponent. Any Pokemon that touches this cream will be filled with energy and euphoria, but at the same time will fall into a state of complete confusion. Now, thing to mention with Gigantamax forms, they have their own exclusive moves, and Alcremie's is very, very good, especially in like double battles. So its move, and they're called G moves by the way, similar to Z moves I guess. So Alcremie has its exclusive G move called GIGAMAX Finale. So any fairy type move Alcremie has, when it turns into a Gigantamax Alcremie, it will change to a move called GMAX Finale. And GMAX Finale will heal all Pokemon on Alcremie's side. I'm assuming they're going to have to be out in battle and not just in the party, but who knows. And it will also deal damage to an opponent. So it's like does 2 things at once, heals you and hurts them. That's honestly a very cool sounding move. Don't know the damage or anything yet, but very interesting. Corviknight also has a Gigantamax form, and let's just read the description. Basically, Corviknight uses its massive wings to catch updrafts created by Gigantamax energy to hover in the air while it battles. The armor on its body has been reinforced, so attacks from Pokemon on the ground barely have any effect on it. Gigantamax energy has caused the armor covering Corviknight's wings to separate and become blade birds, capable of flying independently. Corviknight launches these blade birds at the target using them to slash its opponents. So Corviknight kind of looks the same, a little bit different, but he also has these like flying drone kind of birds around it, which is very interesting. So any flying type moves used by Gigantamax Corviknight will change to GMAX Wind Rage, and GMAX Wind Rage deals damage to an opponent, but that's not all. It will also remove any effects of moves like Reflect, Light Screen, Spikes, and Electric Terrain that the opponent may have. So it's very good at getting rid of those kind of annoying things. I'm assuming like Stealth Rock is going to be included in that as well. So an interesting move, is going to damage, and it's going to also get rid of those terrain effects. Very interesting. And the final Gigantamax form, this is one I think we all saw coming, Dreadnought. So the power of Gigantamaxing has allowed it to stand on its hind legs and become bipedal, so basically, standing on 2 legs. So from its standing position, it can come crashing down on an opposing Pokemon and crush them with its massive body. Dreadnought normally keeps its neck retracted within its shell, but when it attacks, it can rapidly shoot its neck out. Its jaws are also incredibly strong, capable of easily biting through huge metal towers. The strength of its jaws combined with the force of its neck give Dreadnought the power to punch a hole through a rocky mountain in a single strike. And any water type moves used by Gigantamax Dreadnought will change to GMAX Stone Surge. GMAX Stone Surge doesn't just deal damage to an opponent, it will scatter sharp rocks around the opponent and cause Pokemon entering the battlefield to take damage. So it's essentially Spikes and Stealth Rock while attacking another Pokemon. I love the sound of these G moves, I think they sound great. Definitely much more interesting than like Z moves for me personally. And yeah, so that's all the Pokemon and the Gigantamax forms. We're going to go over all the new like gym leaders and exclusive Pokemon next. So let's start off with the exclusive Pokemon. These are the ones we know only so far. There's only basically 2 evolution lines each. So if you're going to get Pokemon Sword like me, I think I'm going to get Sword, although I might just get both at this rate. But anyway, Pokemon Sword, you can get the Hydreigon range, or the Hydreigon evolution line. I don't know why it's a range, like it's a clothing thing. So Dino, Swirlius, and Hydreigon, and you can also get Jangmo-o, Hakamo'o, and Komodo. So if you get Pokemon Shield, this is the one I actually prefer. You can get Larvitar, Pupitar, Tyranitar, Goomy, Sliggoo, and Goodra. I absolutely love the Goomy evolution line, also love Tyranitar, but I do love Hydreigon, not the biggest fan of Komodo, so that's the only reason why I'm kind of leaning to Pokemon Shield for that, but there's going to be a lot more exclusive Pokemon. And there's also, as I said earlier, exclusive gym leaders, which is, I'm pretty sure it's a first for Pokemon. So we don't know what the city is at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that these gym leaders are in the same city. It just has a different type depending on which game you have. So if you have Pokemon Sword, you're going to have the fighting gym leader, Bay, I think that's her name. And she basically just has a Hitmontop for now. That's all we know. I'm assuming she's going to have a lot more. And if you have Pokemon Shield, again, I'm assuming it's the same city, you're going to be up against a gym leader called Alistair. He's wearing this kind of really creepy mask. It's a ghost type gym. and has a Mimikyu. That's all we know so far. So hopefully there's going to be a few more exclusive gyms. I hope they don't show this like, oh yeah, there's going to be like exclusive gym leaders and then just do the one. I'm assuming there's going to be 2 or 3. But yeah, very interesting stuff, and there is going to be probably a bit more news. There were a few more characters announced, like Chairman Rose and his assistant. But I might talk about that in a trailer breakdown video and explain that more. I just kind of want to get the key details out. So guys, if you did enjoy today's Pokemon Sword and Shield video, make sure to hit the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with everything Pokemon Sword and Shield, you're in the right place. As I said, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below to become a part of the Twintendo Nation. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you on the next video. Peace!